All right, hey, I'm Eric Feller with Endurance Films and the Endurance Films Training Institute, and we're here at the New York Try Expo, and I'm lucky enough to be sitting next to Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon with Purple Patch Coaching. Matt, nice to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you, Eric.
All right.
Lovely to be here.
So, Matt, why don't we just jump right in and tell our audience what is Purple Patch Coaching?
Well, we're San Francisco based, although we actually coach athletes all over the states and in fact all over the world. We have athletes on every continent now, and I think what we're probably best known for is our squad of professional athletes. At the moment, we have 12 pros, many sort of household names in our little sport, but we work with athletes in San Francisco with a sort of in-person community, as well as extending out across the country and the world with a more sort of virtual-based online coaching, and all levels. I mean, we've done very well over the last years and had some fantastic results. But we have obviously athletes that are at the very top level and athletes trying to qualify to Hawaii and win their age group in Hawaii. But at the same time, we work at athletes just entering the sport. And I think that the biggest mission for me would be to go beyond the training program and really believe in education as being a sort of key pillar of what we do. We love to empower athletes and try and have them understand why we're delivering what we deliver to hopefully deliver the results that we want.
That's great. Well, that sounds a lot like what we do here at Endurance Films for years. We've been essentially, we use that same term, empowering athletes. Giving them the resources that they need to perform their best. There's a lot of online coaching platforms out there. They're just growing. They're popping up all over the place as people don't need to be necessarily with a coach. Tell us why yours is different and what people get out of subscribing to you guys.
Well, I think that one thing that you mentioned is there's a lot of information out there, and the challenge, I think, for many athletes is filtering out the very high quality information versus just the noise, the blizzard of information that's out there. And so we like to think that we act as athletes' filter to try and deliver them the highest quality information, at least what we believe is the highest quality information. From a coaching standpoint, I think that we go at the challenge of getting athletes ready, especially for many of our athletes that are Ironman and Ironman 70.3 type focused athletes. I think we go at the challenge, at the problem in a slightly different way. In our sport, where the barometer of success tends to be about the accumulation of miles, the accumulation of training hours, how many hours do you train per week? And in fact, the first question that I often get is, I'm signed up for Ironman Lake Placid. How many hours do I have to train each week? And the answer to that is I don't know, because it depends on your background and how much time you have available. So for us, when we build training programs, we like to talk about being the anti-generic, being very, very personalized, very tailored, and really look at an athlete's training program as, let's first look at your life. Let's look at how much time you have available, and then it becomes an optimization challenge. Because with those hours that you have available, how are we going to maximize those? And we've had a fantastic little case study. We've had a couple of our athletes that were both world champions in Hawaii, and both amateur world champions in Hawaii, and one was on a training regimen of 25 hours a week. He had a lot of time, he had a lot of freedom, and was sort of almost a pro-amateur. And another gentleman that was age group champion in Hawaii and was training on a recipe of 12 hours a week. Because he was very, very busy, he was leading a company, so it was very challenging. Now, the message isn't, okay, 12 hours a week is what you need to be successful. He was very, very talented, obviously. But the real message is, if he had been given a program of 16 or 18 hours a week, he probably would have failed. So we look at the challenge from a very individual standpoint and really try and get athletes to, as you say, be empowered so that they can actually be successful.
So in your program, do athletes work directly with coaches? Is there a degree of service where someone gets direct attention, or is it, how does that work?
I like every Purple Patch athlete to have some form of a relationship with me. not in an egotistical standpoint, but I think it's important that the person that's driving the philosophy and the methodology has real contact with the athlete. So I have a couple of assistant coaches. All of the workouts are built by me. I build all of the workouts, and I don't want any purple patch athlete to have a relationship with some coach, be they great or not great, that's just got a purple patch logo. So the assistant coaches that we have are really there to curate and guide the athletes utilizing my workouts. And then the other thing that we do, which I think is a little unique, is a couple of times a week we have all-party video conference sessions. So any purple patch athlete can come on, and we call it meetings with Matt, where they have video conference. You can come on and ask any question you want around your program. And so I like to think that I'm intimately aware of what every athlete is doing. And then of course some athletes I work with directly one-to-one in a classic sort of coach-athlete relationship.
Right. Well, talk a little bit about what you're going to speak about here today at the New York Try Expo.
Yeah, it's. Firstly, it's fantastic to be here, and it's humbling to be asked to fly across the country and come to New York and be in a venue like this. It's super, and in an hour, what can you deliver? And my hope is to really try and set athletes' lens on what a framework to performance is. And so I really have three goals. The first is to highlight some of the classic mistakes that I see many age group athletes making. It will be predominantly an age group crowd, so I'll tailor the discussion around busy amateur athletes. And so the first is to highlight some of the challenges, some of the mistakes that athletes make. Then I'm going to hopefully create a framework or a lens that athletes can look through, that no matter who they're coached by, whether they're self-coached, they've got a coach, a framework that I believe delivers the athlete towards performance. And it's some very, very basic stuff that's fundamental, that really should set their thinking of stuff that is important and stuff that isn't important. So hopefully develop a little bit of a filter. And then the final component is actually some of the key basic things that every athlete, doesn't matter whether they're pro or just getting in the sport, every athlete should adhere to. And with so much information out there, with power meters, GPS monitors, it's very easy to get confused. Nail these basics and you're going to be successful. That's the first thing that we start with our pro athletes, as well as hopefully what I'm going to talk about today.
Great. Well, we'll be sure to be there for that, and you can check that out soon. And Matt, one last thing. As an age group athlete myself, I know I make a lot of mistakes. What are the three? Just give me the three top mistakes you see age groupers make.
All right, the three big mistakes. The first one I mentioned, I think is very important, is to not have your barometer of success in your training program just be the accumulation of training miles. The second one would be that I see a lot of athletes not having a large enough variance of intensity on their workouts. And I would label that not going easy enough in the easy sessions. And people tend to make their workouts like chicken soup. It's just a mash of soup. So really big variance, making sure that when it's easy, it needs to be very, very easy. And then the final component is not fueling after workouts. So we have a sort of a non-negotiable at Purple Patch, which is every time you exercise, every time you train, the most important component is to refuel following. So very close to the end of the workout, make sure that you have calories inside, and that's really the catalyst to help recovery, help preparation for the next workout, and actually manage stress and the type of quality eating that you want to achieve later in the day.
That's
so those
great.
are the three things.
That's great. I think I fall into those three categories. I would say if anybody's interested in learning more about Purple Patch, where can they go?
purplepatchfitness.com is a long URL, and reach out. And we actually have similar to Endurance Films, we have an education membership where people don't have to be coached by us, but we actually have a lot of coaches that are on our education membership. It's $30 a month, so it's not out of this world expensive, but our mission is to educate.
Great.
So it's great.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. We're looking forward
Cheers.
to your talk later on today, and we'll see more at the New York Try Expo.
All right. Cheers.